Nio has closed at $4.90, hovering right under the $5.90 resistance zone that we have marked up. That true point that has been giving the stock the most trouble as of recent times. We saw a few nice days of price action from the buyers, right, trending back to the floor of 446, right, kind of where we got that big explosive move out to the high of 520. Retrace back down there, try to get that move out, tap that ceiling of around that 510 level, came right back down to the floor, and it does hold up again, and that's where we get that nice move up. So should we expect buyers to push it to the ceiling again and possibly get that break, retesting that 520 level, or is it time that the sellers find another rejection here, leading us to another retest back down to the floor of 446? All right, guys, kicking things off on the weekly time frame, we see that Nio has been in a massive downtrend as of the long-term picture, but we've seen a lot of promising signs up recently, guys. Stock has formed these descending triangles, found that base around that 360 cent level, and we get that nice breakout leading to around over 100% movement to the ceiling, right? That level being around that $770 level. So we see a very explosive move after kind of forming this descending triangle pattern. So these are textbook short squeeze type of setups, and then we see a long-term descending triangle form with a smaller type of formation form, and we see price recently break out of both of those resistance zones. We see a lot of buying pressure around this bottom, guys, right, being a pretty strong support, this rough region. So we get that nice movement up, buyers push it up to the ceiling. We find some newfound resistance right here, and we really tighten up comparative to the volatile price action that we've been seeing with Nio. And then we finally get that break out of that resistance zone there, that newfound resistance, and it leads to a break of that longer term resistance stemming from that top breakout level of around 770. And that's where we see that nice continuation up to around that 520 level. And now we see a bit of indecision, a little bit of back and forth between buyers and sellers. Buyers still in that ultimate control. See some very nice buying pressure here as of more recent weeks. And now we are battling it out within this general chop range. We see right here, lots of chop between those two levels before making that movement downwards. What we do know is that we've broken out of some very important resistance levels, and this is a breakout level. In the past, this was not a breakout level, this was a descending motion. And when we did get a breakout of this past descending triangle, we breezed right through that zone. Didn't hold us up whatsoever. So we do see a bit of different price action here, but we do lean towards the continued breakout and continuation up, right? Testing these zones of around that 540 and that $6 psychological level, that being the medium-term price target that we have on the channel for Nio. So weekly stands pretty self-explanatory, a little bit of back and forth going on right here, but nevertheless, very strong price action. Very nice wide green bar, shifting momentum after getting very tight. All right, guys, on the daily chart, so we see how we've trended up a little bit. We've formed quite a flag and pole like structure. So we see the tight price action here comparative to what was going on. Lots of volatile chop. That's where we find that bottom of the range kind of triangle like pattern. So we have a smaller triangle like pattern within the long-term descending triangle. So we tighten up. Very volatile still here. Not as volatile as we saw in the past, but still very volatile. As we kind of tighten up here, we are very reactive. The stock likes to react to this resistance and support, bouncing exactly when we hit the support level and bouncing right when we hit around that resistance. So very reactive to this general area. And then we see some very nice tightening price action, kind of holding to the bottom of this range. And as we meet up with this resistance and the support, a move has to be made and the buyers win that move. So very nice, obvious shift in momentum with this tight price action leads to a break of that zone right here, breaking that resistance. And then that continued move, breaking that long-term resistance, getting above to that 520. Not a lot holding the buyers back. We see consecutive days in a row, a little bit of indecisive price action after getting over that $4 psychological level, but nevertheless, good continuation up to that 520, and that's where we see a bit of back and forth. We see a test to the support, another test to the resistance, test of the support, and now we are looking to trend back up to this resistance of that 510 rough level. Buyers and sellers kind of battling it out for that position, but nice to see that we do hold in a chop-like range after getting this nice breakout of these two important zones. Definitely that major resistance as well being a important zone. Instead of kind of crashing down aggressively, we only retrace around, a little bit more than a fourth of that move. And we are forming a little bit of a flag and pole like structure, getting that obvious big move up and then kind of chopping sideways, kind of forming a flag like structure. So I do think that we kind of break this chop range sooner than later, continuing this breakout motion. As long as volume can really seep in here, we see that volume has reached some very aggressive, nice levels here after that breakout, but definitely not as aggressive as we saw in the past here, guys, right? When we broke this range, we see volume really surge up, breaking through a lot of important resistance zones. Very powerful here after that move out. This is a little bit different. Volume does surge here, but not to the exact levels that we saw in the past. So if volume can really surge in with Nio here, guys, I think that will aid this continued move up and a break of this general resistance, getting over that 520, testing that 540. I think if we break that 520, that 540 will not give us an issue. I think that the next target would be that psychological $6 level, kind of cruising to around that point. Could see a world where we kind of continue this chop a bit, rejecting again, possibly finding this possible ascending support. Not in stone yet, but we see a possible ascending support marker here. So we could kind of try to hold higher within this chop, getting a couple more retests before a break, or we could just see a straight retest right now. And the third option, we do come back down to the floor here, holding that 446. And if we could hold that support zone again, definitely would be bullish. Would be nice to see that we hold that support again, showing how strong of a support level that is. But we do see how strong of a resistance this general area is as well. So lots of back and forth, but we do lean to the bulls, guys, on this one. I think that we do get that break. Could be a little bit more chop. Could be a smaller rejection. Got to hold a bit higher, retest. But nevertheless, guys, I think we break out of this general zone and start trending to that 540. Looking bullish and good price action here, guys, forming a nice big move up and a obvious chop zone. All right, guys, on the hourly, we see that chop zone a bit better. After we get up to that 520 level, we see a sharp rejection, but then the buyers try to come back and regain that zone to where we hold a bit lower. And we create some obvious resistance around that 510 zone. So where we get pushed down to the floor here, gap down, continue, but we do hold nicely at the support level. And we get pushed all the way back up, right around that exact resistance. And then we kind of fumble back down to the floor, but we see how nice that support holds right where we test that zone. Takes only a few hourly candles to really push us back up. And now a little bit different. We're trending in a nice, healthier ascending profile compared to these volatile spikes up. So nice to see that we are in a nicer trending profile here. We're not seeing a sharp move up where we'll be more prone to a rejection. So I think if we hold this ascending healthy profile here, guys, we would be looking very nice for a break of this level on this next retest up. But I do think if we did get rejected here, we could be finding a nice higher low here, guys, instead of coming right back down to the floor. Coming back down is a possibility, but I do like this newer kind of price action. So we predict that we get over that 520 and that 540 with the medium price target of $6 on the channel, guys. We do look good here. We found that very nice breakout of some two important resistance levels. We've seen some chop, and we've been chopping for a bit here, guys. I think that this time we could be getting a nice breakout. We see some new price action on the hourly, kind of ascending up in a healthier profile instead of getting that very volatile move up. I think if the buyers really do try to break that level, they will need volume on their side. See volume kind of in a declining manner right now, so would be nice to see volume really pick up as the buyers try to get that move out. Definitely would be needed for a very nice volatile explosive move. But yeah, guys, let me know your price predictions for Nio in the comments below. We stand bullish. I do think that we get that leg up. Could be a smaller rejection here. Nevertheless, guys, I think we do get this break. I think there's a good possibility that we get this break here, seeing that new price action. If you guys want me to continue covering Nio on the channel, make sure to like and subscribe. And as always, trade smart, guys, and I'll see you all in the next one.